Welcome to Boost My English, the place where stories come alive and English becomes easy, fun, and magical. Today's story is a tale of courage, mystery, and the power of belief. Title of story is The Bridge Beyond the Fog. The Village and the Fog. A long, long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by hills and thick fog, lived a young boy named Elan. He was kind, curious, and full of dreams. Every morning, the village would wake up to a thick white fog. It covered the trees, the roads, and even the sky. No one knew where the fog came from, but the elders said it was ancient and magical. Elan would often stand at the edge of the village, staring into the mist, wondering what was beyond it. The others were scared to go into the fog. It's dangerous, they said, but Elan's heart was full of questions. One evening, an old traveler came into the village. He was tired, his clothes torn, and his eyes deep with stories. Elan brought him water and food. The traveler smiled and said, "Beyond the fog, there is a bridge. It leads to answers, to light, but only the brave can find it." That night, Elan couldn't sleep. He looked out at the fog and whispered, "I will find that bridge." The compass and the choice. The next morning, Elan found something strange near his doorstep. A small glowing compass. It pointed not north, but straight into the fog. He knew it was a sign. Elan packed a small bag with food, water, and the compass. He told his mother, "I need to go. I'll come back." She held him tight and nodded with teary eyes. As he stepped into the fog, everything went quiet. The village disappeared behind him. The path was new. The trees were taller, and the air felt cold but alive. He followed the compass. Every few steps, it blinked softly as if saying, "You're on the right path." Hours passed. He felt tired, but then he saw a stone with carvings. It said, "Only the heart that seeks truth may pass." Elan touched the stone. It glowed, and a new path opened. The path became difficult. Rocks blocked his way. Winds howled through the trees. Elan's feet hurt, but he did not stop. He came to a place with two paths. One was sunny and smooth. The other was dark and steep. The compass pointed to the dark one. He was afraid, but he trusted the compass. As he walked, strange shadows moved beside him. "Turn back," they whispered. Elan closed his eyes and kept walking. Suddenly, he slipped and fell into a pit. In the darkness, he cried. But then, the compass glowed bright and lit up the walls. Carvings showed pictures. A boy, just like him, walking toward a light. Elan smiled. He found a ladder carved into the wall and climbed out. The bridge of memory. Elan walked for many hours. Then, he saw something beautiful. A bridge floating in the air. It was made of light and mist. It looked like a dream. He stepped onto it. The moment he did, memories rushed into his mind. His mother's smile, the village, his first steps. Each step on the bridge made a memory appear. Halfway across, he heard a voice. It was his father's voice. "Elan, my brave boy, you've come far." Elan turned and saw a figure in the mist, his father, who had passed away years ago. They talked. Elan cried. His father said, "You have the strength inside you. Keep walking." Then he vanished like the mist. Elan took a deep breath and finished crossing the bridge. The river of answers. Beyond the bridge was a wide river. Its waters were silver and calm. On the other side, there was a bright light, but there was no boat. Elan sat by the river unsure. Then he remembered the traveler's words. "Only the brave can cross." He looked at the compass. It pointed to the water. He stepped in. The water was cold but gentle. Each step felt like floating. In the middle, the river showed him images, his journey, the choices he made, the lessons he learned. When he reached the other side, his clothes were dry. A soft wind welcomed him. Flowers bloomed, the fog lifted. On the other side, the air was clearer. He stood on a high hill, the fog behind him. A strong wind blew, carrying whispers like voices he had heard in the forest and cave. Then he heard it clearly. "Elan, thank you." He turned and saw nothing, but felt something powerful, like he was being watched with love. He had passed every test, not just outside, but inside. Now he knew. The journey wasn't about crossing the fog. It was about becoming the kind of person who could. And he had. Elan climbed a path lined with ancient stones. Each stone had symbols glowing in soft light. They looked like stars on the ground. He entered a circle of stones. In the center stood a tall figure, made of light with no face but kind energy. "Elan," it said, "you have come far?" Elan bowed his head. "I wanted to understand." The figure replied, "The fog was not your enemy. It was your mirror. It showed you who you are." Elan asked, "Why did no one tell us?" The figure said, "Because truth is not told, it is discovered." Then the figure stepped back. The fog around the valley began to rise, and beneath it was light. A beautiful land waited, open and free. Elan's eyes filled with tears, the mountains of echo. Elan crossed fields of light. He climbed hills that echoed his voice, repeating his words in softer tones. "I am brave, brave, brave. I believe, believe, believe." Each echo filled him with power. He met other travelers, not many but some. Each had walked a different path, some alone, some with help. They shared stories, smiles and warmth. Together they stood on a mountain peak. Below them, a new world stretched out. "Elan," said one traveler, "will you go back?" He nodded. "Yes, they need to know." He looked back toward his village, ready to return, ready to share. The heart of the fog. Elan stood on a quiet cliff. The fog below moved like soft waves. The compass stopped glowing. Its job was done. He walked down into the fog one last time, not afraid. In the center of the valley, a figure appeared, glowing, tall, kind. "I am the keeper of the fog," it said. "Why was the fog hiding everything?" Elan asked. The keeper smiled. "It wasn't hiding, it was waiting. Only those with light inside could pass." "What is the truth?" Elan asked. "The truth is, the journey was never about the fog. It was about you." And with that, the fog lifted. Elan saw a land of light, bridges, rivers, and people living freely. He had found the heart of the fog and the truth of himself. The light returns, home. Elan returned to his village. The fog was gone. People ran to him. His mother cried with joy. "I went through it," he said, "and what I found was beautiful." He told the village everything about the forest, the cave, the voices, the light. The elders listened, the children dreamed, and slowly the fear faded. Elan placed the compass under the old tree in the center of the village. "This," he said, "is not magic. It's a reminder that the light we seek is inside us." People began to walk again, to explore, to believe. Elan became a guide, not just of paths, but of hearts. Moral of the story. The fog we fear is often the path we must take. The light we search for outside lives inside us all.